Imagine waking up tomorrow to find your bank account empty, not hacked, not stolen, just frozen. Your credit cards don't work. The gas station can't process payments. ATMs are dark screens. Now multiply that by 300 million Americans. This isn't a dystopian movie plot. This is the nightmare scenario military strategists are losing sleep over right now. Because while you were scrolling through social media and ordering products online, two superpowers have been quietly fighting a war that could end civilization as we know it, without firing a single bullet. And the terrifying part? Most people have no idea it's already begun. The new battlefield isn't marked by tanks rolling across borders or fighter jets screaming through the sky. It's invisible, digital, and it's everywhere. In 2023, Chinese hackers infiltrated critical American infrastructure so deeply that US intelligence officials admitted they could shut down power grids, water treatment facilities, and communication networks across entire states with just a few keystrokes. The operation, codenamed Volt Typhoon, wasn't discovered by accident. It was found embedded like a ticking time bomb in systems controlling everything from hospitals to military bases. But here's where it gets even more chilling. At the same time, American cyber warriors had planted their own digital weapons deep inside China's infrastructure. It's the modern version of mutually assured destruction, except instead of nuclear missiles, it's lines of code that could plunge billions of people into chaos. Both nations have their fingers hovering over buttons that could trigger catastrophic blackouts, contaminate water supplies, or ground every airplane in the sky. The economic war is just as brutal, though it plays out in boardrooms and stock exchanges rather than battlefields. When the US banned American companies from selling advanced semiconductors to China, it wasn't just about computer chips. Those tiny pieces of silicon are the brains behind everything from smartphones to guided missiles. Without them, China's dreams of technological dominance crumble. In response, China threatened to cut off rare earth elements, the exotic minerals essential for manufacturing everything from electric cars to F-35 fighter jets. 90% of these minerals are controlled by China. That's not trade, that's a chokehold. Then there's the information battlefield, where truth itself is the casualty. Chinese apps like TikTok have been accused of being sophisticated intelligence-gathering tools, quietly harvesting data on hundreds of millions of Americans, learning their habits, their beliefs, their vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, American tech giants are banned in China, replaced by homegrown alternatives that ensure the Chinese government maintains absolute control over what 1.4 billion people see, think, and believe. Each side is trying to infiltrate the other's mind, shaping perceptions and sowing division. The South China Sea has become a powder keg floating on water. China has built artificial islands armed with missiles and radar systems, claiming ownership of waters that international law says belong to everyone. American warships routinely sail through these disputed waters in what they call freedom of navigation operations. Chinese jets intercept them. Warships play chicken with each other, coming within meters of collision. One miscalculation, one nervous pilot, one malfunctioning weapon system, and the war without bullets becomes a war with them. Taiwan sits at the center of this nightmare scenario. This small island produces 60% of the world's semiconductors and 90% of the most advanced ones. If China invades Taiwan, it's not just a regional conflict. The entire global economy seizes up overnight. No chips means no new cars, no computers, no smartphones, no modern life as we know it. The US has pledged to defend Taiwan, though it carefully avoids saying exactly how. China has pledged to reunify with Taiwan by force if necessary. Between these two promises lies the potential for a conflict that would make World War II look small by comparison. Space, the final frontier, is now the newest war zone. Both nations are deploying satellites at a breakneck pace, some for communication and navigation, others designed to destroy enemy satellites or blind them. Imagine GPS suddenly going dark. No navigation for ships or planes, no precision weapons for militaries, no navigation signals for financial transactions. Modern civilization depends on satellites like humans depend on oxygen, and both superpowers are developing ways to suffocate the other. The proxy battles are already hot. In Ukraine, Chinese technology and diplomatic support have helped keep Russia in the fight against a US-backed Ukrainian military. In Africa and Latin America, both nations are racing to secure allies, offering loans, building infrastructure, and establishing military bases. Each port, each 5G network, each mining operation is a chess piece in a global game where the stakes are total dominance. Here's what makes this different from the Cold War. The US and Soviet Union had almost no economic ties. They could hate each other at a comfortable distance. But America and China are economically intertwined, like conjoined twins sharing vital organs. Apple makes its iPhones in China. China holds over $800 billion in US Treasury bonds. Walmart's shelves would be empty without Chinese factories. If they truly go to war, both economies don't just suffer, they collapse. And yet they keep sharpening their knives. Military analysts now talk about the Davidson window, named after Admiral Philip Davidson, who warned that China could invade Taiwan within the next few years. The Pentagon is scrambling to prepare for a conflict it desperately hopes to avoid. China is building warships faster than any nation in history. Its navy is now the largest in the world. America still has technological superiority, but that gap shrinks every day. The question isn't whether this war is happening, it is. The question is whether it stays cold or goes hot, and if it does go hot, whether humanity survives what comes next. Because in a war between two nuclear-armed superpowers with economies that power the modern world, there are no winners, only different degrees of losing. The bullets haven't flown yet, but make no mistake, the war has already started, and every single one of us is standing on the battlefield, whether we know it or not.